City Council regular meeting Monday, June 10th. Please stand and join me in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dana, would you roll call, please?
Councilmember White. Here. Councilmember Cook.
Here.
Councilmember Barry.
Here.
Councilmember Osborne. Here. Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Thank you. We have no presentations tonight.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Everybody take a look at the checks. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passed. Reports, Mr. White? No, nothing. Mr. Cook?
Nothing this evening, Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Fairley?
I just want to give a shout out to the Public Works Department, working late last night, repairing a water meter on Seattle Boulevard. They were out there lately, so.
We should pass that on. Thank you. Ms. Osborne?
I have no report for tonight.
Mr. Thomas?
I have no reports.
Thank you. Chief, sure.
All right, so my remarks are in writing. There's a couple things that came in after I prepared this. One, Reserve Officer Tunnell, his workload at work and being a father of two, has gotten a little much for him. So he has stepped down. He's performed for the city for 8 years very well, filled in when we really needed him, and he'll be missed. But again, I totally understand having a family. He's having to travel a lot for work. And so I'm going to miss him, and I just want to congratulate him on a job well done and wish him well in any future endeavors. So that came in. The other thing that came in, Seattle to Tacoma bike trip, STP. So today I received an email first thing in the morning, and I just received a response back from the person coordinating the race route. They've been in contact with King County Solid Waste and us, and their intent is to still try to go through West Valley. I explained to them that during the time frame that they want, there will not be officers there doing traffic control. So we may need to work that out tomorrow with King County Solid Waste and make sure they extend it to that time frame. The other thing that we proposed, and this is solely up to you guys, is give them an alternate possibility, if you're approved, possibility of having them go through town and go down Algona Boulevard, back out on West Valley, on First Avenue, just to avoid construction. But again, that is not set in stone. We just proposed that as a possibility, with the caveat we're going to bring it up tonight at council.
How would that work with that light out there?
Exactly. So
They would have to obey the laws of
correct.
wait for a nice green light. I know if you just miss it, it's like
Right.
And I know those bicyclists don't follow any of the rules.
Right.
So
I mean, I think if we're thinking in the bigger picture of public safety, I think it's smarter to keep them away from the construction side. But at the same time, I'm not going to bend their arm. Right? If they want to assume the risk and still try to push it down West Valley, then we talk to Karen tomorrow from King County and we go from there.
Wouldn't Auburn have to be involved if they decide to pull down 15th Street Southwest?
I think Auburn's already involved because it comes straight down West Valley.
Okay.
But I can reach out to Auburn and see what their plans are. Don't mind collaborating at all on that one. So on the report, in the month of May, I alluded to it during the workshop, we had 600 calls for service. Out of those 600 calls, 389 of them were traffic stops, self-initiated by the officers. Also, I want to report the bike rodeo. We did a little bit bigger and better. And I want to thank Gary. I want to thank Kari. I want to thank everybody from the city because I got a lot of positive feedback about the event. And if you didn't see or hear, we took them out, we closed down Ward Street, and we had a course for the bigger kids where we actually taught them bicycle safety at each station, and every right answer got them some candy, and you had a bunch of kids going through a couple times, and then the little kids could come over here, do the little obstacle. We auctioned off 6 bikes. The mayor was slaving away at the hot dogs, from turkey dogs to cheddar dogs. We had a variety, so we didn't, everybody could partake. Face painter did a phenomenal job. My son was kind of being a little funny guy. He got a mustache like mine. And Officer Dubois, he got a curly mustache. And one of our newest officers, Benham, he got his whole face painted like Spider-Man. So it was, I got pictures. But it was really good. A lot of positive feedback. Any feedback you guys give us, we've got a few more ideas for next year. Officer Gerard, I don't know, he's a balloon artist. He was out there making animals, making different things for him. It was just a cool event. So, yep. I mentioned our newest officer, Benham, Officer Mozafari. He'll be at the next council meeting to get sworn in. You'll get to meet him in person, but he started his field training yesterday with Corporal Fan. Officer Hardnett is still in his field training. He is with Officer Gerard. He is about ready to transition to Officer Dubois. But I'm really excited. Things are moving well for both officers. All right, so the next things that we're looking ahead for in the police department and we're preparing for 4th of July. So as I say in my report, from the 3rd to the 5th, we're going to be doing fireworks patrols. Fireworks have been banned in the city for 4 years now. And so we are going to take action and seize fireworks. So we've given people plenty of opportunity to get familiar with the city code. So I'll have extra people on through the 3rd through the 5th to respond to fireworks calls and to be actively looking. Other than that, I'll stand for any questions.
Jessica?
All right. So everyone has my June city administrator report. The first thing I wanted to start out with is our consumer confidence report that will be going out at the end of the month to all the residents in town. It came to our attention through a letter of violation from the Department of Health that last year our annual water testing did not get completed. As soon as we got that, we got a water test ordered. It came back really good. Department of Health is happy. We still just need to notify the public that I missed the testing, but we're back in compliance and we're moving forward. So you'll see that in the July water bills. We'll have that consumer confidence report going out. Let's see. The second call for bids has been posted as of Friday for the wetland preserve. It'll be open until July 8th. In talking with our consultants and after talking it over with council at the last meeting, it is a phased approach. So phase 1 is the wetland restorations, all the ground work that needs to be done, the grading, the wood chip trail, the first round of planting, and then phase 2 is the second round of planting that'll be done in February, March time. So this bid is for those 2 phases, and then January, February time we'll do a bid package for phase 3, which is the boardwalk and the overlook. So we're hoping that will get us some more response and meet that in water work window, which is the end of September. Let's see, Algona Village, the parking variance has been done. They got their approval on that. So now we're just waiting for them to submit their CUP STP after, I believe it's the third round of comments, so we should be getting that back from them soon. We're also waiting for some invoices to be paid, and we'll get the ball moving on that project. The hotel on West Valley, they just submitted their response to the second review comments, and it's in the review process for that. I'm pretty confident that this is the last review time, and we'll be able to issue their permits and get that project moving this summer. City website, Gary's working hard on getting that finalized. Again, we're just removing some of those duplicate pages that I don't know why they did it that way, but they made a lot of duplicate pages. We're still working on cleaning that up. Let's see what else. Events. Algona Days. So Gary came up with a great idea, and we will have the Kozaks, the Al Kozaks. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they do the performances on the motorcycles. I included a picture in the report, but pretty exciting. They'll be there for a few hours doing a performance, and we are looking for volunteers for that day. So if you know of anybody who'd like to help me in a city booth, we'll have 2 of them this year, one in Natchez and one in Waffle. We can use all the help we can. Other than that,
I'll volunteer.
perfect. Other than that, if you have any questions?
Just clarification, you said that consumer confidence report, is that, we're talking about the water quality report?
Water quality, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? So for my report tonight, I'm going to read several letters that have gone out today. One of them, the first one has to do with the flooding in Auburn, and this letter I sent out to Mayor Backus. I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, I'm writing respectfully to request the City of Auburn support in resolving a flood risk that impacts families and businesses here in the City of Algona. Just this past year, 41 homes and 3 local businesses on the northern end of Algona were flooded, despite it not being an unusually heavy year for precipitation. As you know from our past conversations on this issue, the City of Algona has been working to protect its citizens from the potential of flooding for nearly a decade, with more severe weather patterns becoming more frequent due to climate change. The risk of future flooding is becoming more dangerous. The City of Algona engaged a professional engineering firm, Northwest Hydraulic Consultants, to conduct field observations and review existing data regarding this issue. In May of this year, NHC's report of their work confirmed that flooding problems in Algona are getting worse, and determined that those problems are at least partially driven by downstream conditions. Further, we know that the growth in the entire valley is creating more impervious surfaces that make stormwater management more challenging. As one example, the construction of the new county solid waste division transfer station, which will benefit our entire area, including the City of Auburn, despite having the stormwater retention reservoir under the main building, will still require rerouting of Mill Creek and increase the demand on the City of Algona's storm system. While rapid intervention by our city's public works team, along with timely support from King County Flood Control District and the State of Washington Office of Emergency Management, kept 2023's flood event from becoming more damaging and more dangerous than it already was, we need to find a more permanent solution to this problem. We have been advised by representatives of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, King County Flood Control District, and Washington State Department of Transportation that the only viable long-term solution to reduce risk of flooding is to create an avenue for stormwater to travel north through Auburn and into the regional stormwater system. Doing so will be a straightforward project of clearing the channel in the northwest corner of our city near SR 18 and SR 167 and through the Auburn 400 ponds. It is our understanding that neither the channel nor the pond have been cleaned in a number of years, and the resulting vegetation growth is constricting water flow in the area. Similar cleanup projects in Kent have produced significant improvements to stormwater management in that area. In the interest of better understanding the City of Auburn's prospective flood risk, we recently reviewed records obtained as a result of public records request. This request yielded multiple documents which are available on our website, and I'll be glad to share that website if anybody's interested. Confirming the City of Auburn's awareness of the flooding problem. The same documents also acknowledge the flooding directly tied to a lack of maintenance on the Auburn 400 ponds. These same documents indicate the ponds should not be considered wetlands. Therefore, active, timely, consistent maintenance of them is appropriate. The key points are detailed in an array of city records, including maps showing a channel on the east side of the ponds. This channel is now non-existent due to a lack of maintaining vegetation and sediment buildup. Letter from Auburn's engineer to Army Corps of Engineers stating the purpose of constructing the Auburn 400 ponds and the need to maintain the channel. Letter from the Army Corps of Engineers in responding to letter reaffirming the need to maintenance on the channel to reestablish the original conveyance capacity for the existing storage ponds. Proposed mitigation determination of non-significance prepared by Auburn to perform maintenance on the channel located throughout the Auburn 400 ponds. Item 4 of the MDNS states that a maintenance program for the Auburn 400 ponds is to be prepared by the City of Auburn at the completion of the channel restoration project. No maintenance plan was included with the documents provided from the public disclosure request. Letter to the City of Auburn from the City of Algona requesting portion of the channel located in Algona be added to the channel maintenance project. City of Auburn interdepartmental memo from Tim Karloff, storm drainage engineer, stating that the flooding in Algona is stemming from a lack of maintenance to the Auburn 400 ponds and that the pond areas are not wetlands. The memo also states Algona is asserted a source of their drainage problems within Algona city limits is attributed to a lack of maintenance within their ponds. We agree. These citations clearly demonstrate that the City of Auburn's decisions relative to the lack of maintenance on the drainage channel and the Auburn 400 ponds has had a recognized and significant causal effect on flooding conditions in Algona. The City of Algona is doing everything we can to address this problem on behalf of our citizens. We are cleaning and upgrading our entire storm system. We are building a 2.5 acre filtration pond that will also support stormwater management. We have pulled together representatives of local cities, including Auburn, King County, the state of Washington, and tribal governments to discuss the problems. And with the support of our delegation in Olympia, we have helped secure more than $200,000 to complete the first comprehensive update to the area's stormwater management plan in more than a decade. But in addition to all these efforts, we clearly need your help. Without the City of Auburn's agreeing to take an affirmative action which will allow, will allow the water to flow north of Algona, ensuring that the water flow is not again impeded in the future, our residents and businesses will continue to be plagued by an increasingly significant flooding problem. We believe there are opportunities to secure funding that is necessary to work placing. We believe there are opportunities to secure funding for this necessary work without placing an undue burden on the City of Auburn's budget. We also believe that the project would have other significant environmental benefits, such as helping to restore fish habitat in the area. One of the hallmarks of our valley is the willingness to work with our neighbors for the benefit of everybody in the region. We have seen it with the creation and operation of the Valley Regional Fire Authority, transportation improvements in the SR 167 corridor, and the plan for the new King County Solid Waste Transfer Station, and countless other projects. We are asking you to continue the City of Auburn's tradition of being a good neighbor and work with us to resolve this issue. I remain available to talk more with you at your earliest convenience. So that went out today. The next letter, and I've spoken to council about Cherry Park, and this is a letter that will actually be mailed out tomorrow to the residents. And it says, You're receiving this letter because your property is located within the Cherry Park subdivision. The subdivision was approved by the Algona City Council through the passage of resolution number 750-04 in 2004. It is comprised of 12 single-family lots together with associated common area tracts. One of these parcels, Tract A, is owned by Cherry Park Homeowners Association and was designated to serve as a primary facility of the subdivision's private storm drainage system. Other components of the drainage system are located on various individual lots throughout the subdivision. The city's approval of Cherry Park subdivision was conditioned in part upon the preparation and implementation of an inspection and maintenance agreements to ensure permanent, effective operation of the private storm drainage system. The specific maintenance requirements are set forth in the Declaration of Protective Covenants, Conditions, Easements, and Restrictions of Cherry Park at Algona, dated April 2nd, 2024. The CC&Rs are recorded against the title to each of the parcels within the Cherry Park subdivision and are binding on all current and future owners of these properties. A copy of the CC&Rs is enclosed for your reference. Together with the original recorded Cherry Park plat of CCR sets forth the responsibilities of the HOA and individual lot owners respectively regarding the subdivision's private storm drainage system. Summarized, these provisions provide in relevant part as follows. The Cherry Park subdivision has a private drainage system that is intended to handle stormwater from the entire subdivision. The HOA is legally responsible for operating and maintaining the components of the drainage system that are located within Tract A and in other common areas of the subdivision. Individual landowners are responsible for maintaining the portions of the drain systems that are located on their property, respective lots. Maintenance of both the HOA and individual lot owners is to be performed in accordance with plans that are approved by the city and per maintenance schedule that defines the nature, frequency, and allocation of responsibilities between the HOA and the individual lot owners. Operation and maintenance records are to be retained by the HOA and the individual owners for at least 3 years and must be made available to the city on request. The city holds an access easement throughout Cherry Hill subdivision for the purpose of inspecting all components of the drainage system. If the city finds that the HOA or any of its individual lot owners has failed to maintain the drainage system as required by the CC&Rs, the city may send the offending parties a 30-day written correction notice. If the responsible party fails to perform the necessary corrective work by this deadline, the city can perform the work itself and assess the cost together with applicable penalties to the HOA and or individual lot owners. The assessed cost may be enforced as a lien on the subject property and may be collected in the same manner as ordinary taxes. The city's rights under the CC&Rs are separate from and additional and all other applicable penalties. It has come to the city's attention that the required maintenance of the private storm drainage system has been neglected in violation of the CC&Rs. Recent visual inspection by the city indicated that portions of the system are not operating at all, or their functionality has been severely compromised due to the lack of maintenance. This increases the potential for flooding and that damage public and private property both within the Cherry Park subdivision and the surrounding area. It is the city's hope and intent that this issue can be addressed cooperatively without the need for the city to exercise its remedial rights under the CC&Rs and or pursue other legal enforcement options. To this end, the city is inviting all the Cherry Park homeowners to a formal meeting to discuss maintenance and operational requirements of the subdivision's private storm system and its time frame for compliance. The meeting will occur at 9 a.m. on June 22nd at the Algona City Hall. I hope to see you there. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to meeting with you and working collaboratively to resolve this important issue. A lot of things going on. The last thing I want to talk about is we've been working on abatement of the property over on Tacoma Boulevard. The court hearing was last Thursday, and the King County Superior Court has granted the city's motion for an order to default judgment and warrant abatement at this time. The order and warrant attached for your reference collectively authorize the city and its agents to enter property and abate the current nuisance conditions. There's a list of different ways, but it's gonna probably be, what, 30 days, I would think. I think it's 2 days, give them 2 weeks notice, and then we've already gone out to bid. Do you remember what the bids were?
We just needed 3 informal quotes.
And do you remember what
They range from 8,000 to 15,000.
so it wasn't, I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that, so. But I would hope that within the next 60 days that we have that property clear and all the stuff is gone off of it. That's all I have to report. Thank you very much. Any questions for me?
Yeah, the last one with the bids, from 8 to 15,000. That includes the work, but not the dump fees, right? Because they don't know what the dump fees actually are right now.
Correct, yes. And then that lowest bid was actually a newly formed business, and so she quoted super low to just get the business in. I would expect it to be probably more than 20,000.
Total with dump fees, or
Yeah.
still not bad for
For what it is, no, that's for sure. Any other questions?
no, sir.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Audience participation. The city council encourages public participation during meetings of the city council and welcomes your comments. This time is set aside for you to speak to the city council on any issue. The council ordinarily takes non-agenda matters under advisement before taking action. You are also invited to comment on action items as they are considered during the meeting. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each in addressing the city council. When addressing the city council, please speak clearly, audibly, and state your name and address for the record.
Stacy Sippo, 1025 Celery, Algona 9001. I'm the mother of Isabel and Sophia Sippo, and they are very interested in being part of junior council. And I heard that it was no more because nobody applied, and so we are here to maybe see if we can look back into that. How many children do we need to have a junior council?
Can I ask who told you it was no more?
Well, I heard that it's not going on right now because there wasn't anybody
Gotcha.
interested or whatever. That's
Gotcha.
what it-
Did you get my message the other day?
to get the application, yeah. That's
Okay. Yeah, so that's, we do have the applications.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, please do apply. We're still interested in making it happen. So if you have neighbors or friends that live in town that want to take part too, love to get it going.
Is there a minimum that you would need to start it?
3 is a quorum, so 3 would be the minimum.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's all we have to know. Excellent. All right.
Good, thank you. Is anybody online?
There is nothing.
Anybody have anything else before I move on? Okay. Discussion items, item A is Gray and Osborne, a retention pond design contract.
Alright. So during this last legislative session, the city was earmarked approximately $210,000 for the beginning stages of a water quality pond up on that northwest property. Stacy did this proposal for us to do the all the way through the final design and bidding process for the project, and that comes out to $124,000. So there would still be enough to get the project started. We have a couple other grant opportunities coming up to pay for the finishing touches of that project. So, is there any questions about scope of work, agreement, any of it?
Let's move on to item B, resolution 1278-24, 6-year transportation improvement plan.
Alright, so there's been one modification since the first review at the last meeting. Broadway Boulevard was bumped from next year to 2026, making Algona Boulevard north from first boundary priority, so we can get that repaved and added a bike slash pedestrian lane onto that street. There's been a lot of pedestrian traffic there, so that seems to be much needed. And then also we included the resolution that wasn't on there last time.
Really? No questions? Item C is King County Conservation Futures Grant Agreement, amendments for the additional funds and updated contract language.
Alright, so I was able to put a red line version together for you. So, you'll see in section 5.2, there's some added language for the use of proceeds. Does the council want me to read through it, or no? Yes, of course. So this gets the city another $315,000 on top of the $150,000 for the Conservation Futures Grant, and then of course the language updates as well.
Looks good, thank you.
All good? No new business, no old business, no ordinance and resolutions to approve tonight. Next workshop.
What are you looking at me for?
You're the workshop leader.
Speed limits.
Yeah, you could do a little discussion on speed limits and anything else you guys would like to discuss?
Is there anything in particular you want me to focus on? I was going to, if your physical impacts of reducing the speed limit, I'd like to discuss that. You're talking about the speed limit signs are going to go down, tickets are, after the education period, there's going to be some court costs and those kind of things. So I'd be glad to break down the physical impacts of it as well.
I would be, interested in what the speed limit is on, some of the other streets, rather than just down on Boulevard.
So it's
Just
the ones named in the thing.
Yeah. Everything else is 25.
Correct.
Okay. Well, then I guess then that answers.
So the east-west streets are all 25,
They're
right?
all 25.
Yep. If it's not named in the ordinance, as by the sheet, it's 25. So.
Okay. I think that's going to be our next.
Okay.
Next big thing with the citizens.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Yeah, it would be nice to get one of those voyants out too for that.
For the workshop
Yeah.
or for the council? Because it's my plan to run have the ordinance ready to go for next.
Just
The e-bikes and those are both going to be ready to go.
Evites, yes, just to let them know that that'll be discussed.
Okay.
Plan on a packed house.
Okay. Can do.
Adjourned.